Assalamu alaikum. The chakras are energy centers located in the spiritual subtle body of consciousness. They are located throughout the body to symbolize each level of consciousness experienced and overcome. There are 7 that you can experience here on earth that correlate to the 7 earths and heavens in the Quran. The colors correlate to the rainbow of colors in the light spectrum. We know white light comes through a prism and creates red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Red is the lowest frequency waves and has the longest wavelengths created to make a denser reality. Moving all the way up to violet, which is the highest frequency color, and the short wavelengths creating super fast, light, less dense reality, meaning the immaterial or spiritual world, realm of consciousness, of energy, not solid mass any longer. Let me explain. This was taught. Each chakra center is a wheel of energy given to the ancient Indian nation by higher dimensional beings who came from Source, who were here to help guide humanity and give a little boost in consciousness to them. Knowing full well humanity would not understand the true purpose until they reached a level of intelligence that is now in most today. The chakra centers can be blocked, and they can be turning like a wheel. And when they spin, it symbolizes that area of your life is in balance, and you, in short, you worked on your stuff. They're governing that center. The goal is to move energy from the root all the way up to the subtle body to the crown chakra into oneness with Allah and all things. They stop moving when trauma and obstacles occur. Your job is to unblock them through awareness and repentance to move forwards into a better version of yourself tomorrow.
Forgiveness is key.
The root chakra symbolizes the need to establish grounding or your roots on earth. It's represented by the red color. As you can see on the photo, it is the lowest point of chakra. Here people are when they are first born. They have this root opened. It is the basic needs of a child of food, water, shelter, and feeling you can survive. If these needs are not met, the root closes or disappears and the soul dies from this material world. It can no longer exist in this material reality. But the issue is when people get stuck in the root as adults. They seek for only these things and nothing outside of themselves spiritually. This is why the Quran asks of humans to pray 5 times or more a day to constantly keep that connection intact. To be balanced, you must have your feet on the ground, all needs met, and start to think of matters outside of your basic needs for survival. This is Adam's first step in finding food, water, and things to build a house. This is roots first from God. Then you move into the next higher frequency of consciousness state, the orange ray consciousness. After you accomplish life beyond basic needs of the root, you move into the Sacral Chakra. Here is the sexuality. In all children, they are born and start to play with their body parts, discovering them. The problem is if this area becomes blocked, if someone is raped, molested, or has been sexually bad experiences or abuse, or body self-esteem. This is why the Quran makes a very big deal of sex without love or commitment. Lust is an energy that blocks the flow of the sacral chakra to receive love from the divine. So here the area needs to be unblocked in order to have children and procreate the human species and to have sex in pure ways. Think of the next stage of Adam and Eve when they start to have children and multiply. This represents the creation from God. Then you move into the next higher frequency of consciousness, into yellow ray consciousness. After this area is worked on, an intimacy with a person can be had in the Sacral Chakra. Then you can unblock it, moving energy up from the root through the sacral to the solar plexus area of power. Power can be demonstrated in a lot of ways. When it is blocked, you feel powerless to achieve anything in life. When it is also not yet open, it is a reach for other people's power, like Cain did to Abel. This is the first murder of mankind. This is the area in which most of the world has been at for about the start of civilization after Cain's act. Here, wars for power, control, land, resources, and wealth are created. This is usually created by humans who are only in their first, second, and third chakra consciousness levels. You need to move beyond your need to dominate others and balance this area by becoming loving and powerful at the same time. You know your own power, but you don't seek to control others when it is freely spinning. This is showing the power from God. Then you move into the next higher frequency, green ray consciousness. Once you break free of the power center within you, you move into the heart and soul chakra. This is the place that opened up within all messengers and prophets in order to help their people. Muhammad's chest was opened by Archangel Gabriel, it is said, in a cave, by him pushing down on his chest, saying, "Read, read, read." This symbolizes Muhammad's heart opening up to help his people and receive the revelations. He cared and loved his fellow beings and wanted to help them establish quality. The heart chakra can be blocked by bad relationships with those in the lower consciousness levels who not yet know themselves. Your job is to learn the truth of it and move beyond that experience to unblock that feeling unlovableness. Once you do, this center will open and you will love more freely.
Without fear.
I imagine Muhammad got to the point of opening his heart and letting go of the past because he was abandoned as a child and was an orphan. He did it himself, allowing Allah to know he was ready to help his people regain justice, law and order, equality, and unity with the other religions around them. This is showing the love from God. Next, you move into the next higher frequency state, which is the blue ray consciousness. After this area is unblocked of the heart and you have a rush of love for many things, then you start to communicate all of this. After Muhammad received the revelations, he expressed them to his people to bring joy to their hearts and faith to their minds. This area was also unblocked for him, and Gabriel said that he was released from it from an injury from a hot coal as a child. So now he could give open talks and guidance to those coming to believe in one creator source. In you, this area is your self-expression center. You need to get past the idea you have nothing good to say and to allow your true thoughts to come forth. This area easily becomes blocked when you come up against others in the lower states of consciousness that say that you are stupid, a fool, or don't know what you are talking about. It is very hurtful, and so you shut your true thoughts up and don't say anything about what you observe in the world. I promise if everyone actually said what they felt and what they saw, there would be less misunderstanding than there is today.
And lies.
Expressing your true self allows you to truthfully communicate your needs, desires, and wants to help you achieve them and help others. It also is expressing the will of God to spread the messages of peace, love, unity, and friendship for all. There is a doorway that opens up to the angels here, and so much communication happens to a person once they open this area. You start to receive divine thoughts and messages coming from angels and other beings who wish to help humanity. These people are mediums and channel and give messages today as it has been done in the past with every single messenger or prophet. Next, you move into the Indigo Ray consciousness. After you start to communicate more openly, then you move into the etheric realms of consciousness, which is the unseen but felt sixth sense, the intuition. Here is the tool to know the difference between evil and good, false from truth, illusion from reality. This is when you start to see beyond duality of war and peace, good and evil, and see it stemming all from either those who follow their egos only, Satan, or those who are following the Creator. Here is where the battle gets more real. You start to actually see the evil in the world as unconscious thought forms that choose to serve destruction rather than creation of a species. In this area, it is not blocked, it simply needs to be opened, and it is only opened once you go through all the other lower levels to really see what is going on in the world. You unlock empathy here where you feel the states of others across the world, and you have telepathy where you can read others' minds more easily. You can start to see, hear, and feel things just beyond the physical veil of the earth. Here is where you start to notice demons, bad jinns, Satan, and evil men and women, and aliens start to play a game with humanity. The game is called Pull the Wool Over the Masses' Eyes from God and Love. You yourself can see it, but you cannot make others see when you are at indigo consciousness. All you can do is warn others and start to pass on information. You may become a conspiracy theorist here and research so much on aliens, demons, and the elite in charge. And once you feel you know what is going on in the Quran, the Bible, and other holy books, and know that they were right, you move on. You know there is a spiritual battle, and you choose your side and become a warrior for God. Here is when you get the sight from God and see all the signs. You can spend many years here. Muhammad spent the rest of his life until his last days here fighting the evil in the world from masking God from the people. But then he eventually moved from there into violet ray consciousness. Finally, my friends, I have the most beautiful and the best news possible for you. This is a place where you disappear from this earth in a spiritual way. You literally vibrate above the other lower states of consciousness, and those issues are beneath you now. You enter into divine connection with Allah, and this means you finally realize it is all a test. It is a test of your soul to see if you choose the side of ego
or you choose God.
You have learned to be a warrior for God in indigo consciousness, and in a way, you have become what is called a light worker. Once you decide to stop physically fighting and start to promote love, equality, friendship, justice, oneness, and unity, your life starts to change. You are in love with Allah, and Allah is in love with you. You feel it and you know it. You feel it and you know it. You have entered into a state of understanding and wisdom, and you learn that there is no such thing as evil and Iblis is a sad, lonely symbol of the need to feel special over others. Iblis hated Adam for being created. He wanted to be the only beautiful creation out of spirit of fire, and in comes a new one of the spirit of earth. It made Satan feel hurt, enough to lose his spiritual self and enter into ego, representing the ego in all of us. Because we are all connected to Allah. There, Iblis vowed to play the role of the adversary to God in order to prove that humans were a terrible idea. When you realize that you can be special, and so can others, this is when you let go of your selfish ego, and this is true charity. A zakat to purify the soul, to remove the need to want to always be the only one special to God. When you realize all beings are special in the entire universe, you merge with them. You love them. You enter into the mindset of the Creator.
You are one with Allah and love all things.
From here you can walk on earth as Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and all other loving beings who shared the wisdom to help them ascend. And your life is a grand party in which you surpass all evil and nothing phases your immortal spirit. This is how Jesus was not killed spiritually, but the Pharisees and Romans bragged that they did. The truth is, you cannot kill a soul that learns of its immortality under God. Here you have the power of manifestation and transformation of evil and dark. You have forgiveness and understanding in you to truly love your enemies and the enemies of this creation. Here is where people would be able to break from the slavery of prison and say, no, we love you men in charge, but your decisions are not for the greater good anymore. They are only for yourself. Let us make a new earth together that will be peaceful for all. This is how humanity will have a lasting revolution and a whole new way of living together on earth that other advanced species in the universe have achieved. After experiencing enlightenment of being one with all things on earth and loving all beings here on earth and in the multiverse under Allah, when you die, you are one with Allah, and Allah is with you. You match the frequency of the Creator in love. You will all keep living out lives of this that you create, either as heaven or hell, until you learn this and enter into what is called the last incarnation, in which your soul is allowed to finally rest and move beyond the physical world of both suffering and joy. You enter into a state of just bliss, where all your dreams and desires come true. You have earned it at this point, moving through all layers of the 7 earths, the heavens and hells. Figure out where you personally are today, and use this message to help you ascend further up your own ladder of consciousness till you, as Quran verse Surah 5 line 119 says, Allah will say, this is the day when the truthful will benefit from their truthfulness. For them are gardens in paradise, beneath which rivers flow, wherein they will abide forever, Allah being pleased with them, and they with Him. That is the great attainment. Salam to you all.